Vince, you've been dealing with Boss for some time now, and your firm is Prosperity Accountants. And I'd just like to find out, to start off with, for everyone else out there, if you can just describe your firm and give them a better idea about your business.
Sure. Thanks, Lee. Thanks for the opportunity. Prosperity Accountants, we're a sole practitioner firm. I'm the principal partner and the sole partner. I have two qualified accountants working in my firm. I have a zero bookkeeper and I have a personal assistant office manager. We are based in Leederville, Western Australia, which is an inner city suburb, an old suburb of Perth, but it's a suburb that's been revitalised with a lot of singles and working couples renovating the old homes in Perth, so we're seeing a lot of development there.
Okay.
I've been in practice for about 10 years. Prior to that, I was held some positions in financial management and as finance director, and I decided to open up our own practice about 10 years ago, and we've grown about 20% a year since we started. Our client base has changed over the last 10 years, where now we're focusing on owner-managed small, medium-sized business entities.
Yeah.
In no particular industry, but we've got clients that range from service-based industries, retail, wholesale, tradies. We also have a large database of professionals, engineers, architects, and we also specialise in preparing accounts for superannuation funds, self-managed super funds.
Okay.
We're the last 12 months we've been transitioning to be a cloud-based accounting firm. We're trying to transition most of our clients, if not all, to a zero single ledger.
Yeah.
And also using Spotlight Zero working papers. So that's an area that we believe that will add a lot of value to the firm in terms of productivity, efficiency, and also value-adding services to our clients.
Yeah. Okay. Great. That's an excellent description. Okay.
Thank you.
What were your reasons for outsourcing compliance work?
A number of reasons. Firstly, as you probably know, Perth and particularly Western Australia has been undergoing quite a boom in the mining industry over the last 5 or 6 years, and as a result of that, a lot of accounting graduates and accountants were lured by the high salaries in the mining industry. So we had difficulty attracting good qualified people to work for us and in our profession, and therefore we looked for alternatives, and that's one of the reasons. The other reason is that historically most accounting businesses are seasonal, where you probably do about 80% of your compliance work between July and let's say November, and so you're going hammer and tongs in those months, and things then slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
And so we had times where we had accountants that were overloaded with work, and other times where they didn't have so much work. So we're looking for flexibility also. So for those two reasons, I'd heard about the growing incidence of outsourcing compliance work. And so I looked at some of the providers of compliance work, spoke to some of the accountants who have used outsourcing, and that's how we progressed to where we are now.
Okay. And so, out of interest, why did you choose Boss?
I guess through high recommendations from the accountants that we spoke about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. We didn't rush into it hammer and tongs initially. We really tested. We wanted to test the quality of the work that Boss was able to provide, the timeliness, the quality of the working papers, their understanding of the tax laws, their responsiveness to our queries, how well they spoke English,
Yeah.
how well they communicated in emails and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So I guess what we did is I drip fed some work along the way,
Yeah.
and really to assure myself that all the boxes were ticked in terms of our priorities in terms of moving forward to maybe giving a higher volume of work to Boss.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess we also looked at another option in Vietnam. Their model was a little bit different to Boss in that you really don't engage with an accountant. You're going through let's say client service coordinators who then pass information on to the accountants, and sometimes there's a lack of understanding in terms of exactly what you're trying to say and communicate to the accountant, whereas with Boss we're actually able to deal and communicate directly with the accountant who's dealing with the file.
Yeah, okay, that's a very good point. Okay, and you've touched on some of the aspects of how you set things up with Boss, because you drip fed at the beginning and started off slowly, but are there any other particular things that you did internally to set things up with Boss to make it work?
We developed some templates, our own templates. Boss provided us with a couple of templates in terms of how to load jobs up, the type of information that was required to initiate the job with Boss, and we felt that that template didn't suit the way we did business here in terms of workflow management and job initiation. So we developed our own templates and passed them on to Boss to see whether they were agreeable to use our templates for job initiation, and they were fantastic about it. They had no issues in terms of our firm requiring something more specific in terms of those templates, and so we were able to implement that without too many problems, and that fitted in really with our workflow management system that we had within the firm here, and so we felt that Boss was not regimented in terms of dictating to us how files should be processed and managed, that they adjusted their workflow practices to a large extent in terms of meeting our requirements.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, great. So what's it like dealing with the Boss accountants?
Well, I can only speak highly of the Boss accountants. The basis of our arrangement with Boss is that it's casual work, and so so we've dealt with quite a number of accountants within the Boss workforce, and there's been changes in terms of who manages our work. So I think that there's a lead accountant that manages our work, and then that person at Boss then delegates the work down to other accountants, and then queries are phoned through. Those accountants who are working the job are directly giving us the queries. Yeah. Look, we found all of the accountants that we've worked with have been efficient, cooperative, knowledgeable, and flexible.
Right.
I guess one of the main issues is that at times when there were very strict deadlines to be met in terms of clients needing work done quickly, Boss always came to the party in terms of trying to facilitate those tight deadlines that we met. Not all the time, which is understandable, but wherever possible they bent over backwards to meet those particular deadlines. They're also, what I found and I think was very, very important is that they looked behind the accounts or behind the information we gave in terms of actually not just doing the work, but if they saw that there was issues that needed to be brought to our attention in terms of taxation issues, then they were also coming in that area, which added value also.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's very good. Very interesting. Okay. So apart from what you've just mentioned there, what have been the benefits of using Boss? Any extra things that spring to mind?
Yes, well, late last year, in June of last year, I bought some accounting fees from a gentleman who was retiring, which effectively doubled our workload.
Right.
I was able to take on that workload without appointing a new accountant to help manage that workload, a qualified accountant. All I did was to appoint a client service coordinator / bookkeeper, who was able to provide the support, the link between the client and boss in terms of providing information. So we're able to almost double our capacity without actually adding to our professional staff.
Yeah.
By using Boss. And that was the greatest benefit for us, and we were able to meet client expectations. The clients that we took on, I think we retained about 98% of the clients.
Okay.
They were happy with the work, and I, as the sole practitioner, was able to devote my time more to looking at the client's needs in terms of added services and added benefits, rather than concentrate on the nitty-gritty compliance work.
Yeah, great, which is the perfect solution. Yeah.
And that was one of the standouts, that we were able to increase our workload significantly without adding to our professional staff, and also the flexibility of the timing of jobs coming through. You know, you'd have some weeks we were very busy, some weeks we weren't that busy, and so Boss was able to manage that the capacity changes through without me having to worry about it. So flexibility and increased capacity was the main benefits.
Yeah, great. Okay, thank you. Now, this is a bit of a difficult question, and you don't have to answer it, but can you put a dollar figure on the benefits of using Boss?
Well, I guess you know, the fact that we didn't have to employ another qualified accountant and able to do the work was probably $100,000 saving.
Okay.
A year, but I guess also there was a lot of efficiency savings, and I think that's probably another 20-30,000. So I'd say it improved our performance by at least 100,000 a year.
Right, excellent. Okay, and have there been any problems along the way?
There are always issues and problems along the way. I think the important thing is that are they able to be resolved, and how quickly can they be resolved?
Yeah.
And I guess because we hadn't we changed some of the processes within our organisation to facilitate better quality of information to outsource, and that's a good thing.
Right.
In terms of actually making sure that the information that we get from clients is complete and accurate as much as possible, so that when we outsource it to Boss, they have as much of the information to start and complete the job with having to down tools on a frequent basis.
Yeah.
So that's also important. We're now moving away from Handy Ledger, which is one of the industry standards, and we're moving to a single ledger zero from the 1st of July this year, and using Spotlight working papers. Over the last 3 or 4 months, Boss has helped us to look at that transition. They've tested some work that we've put onto Zero and use Spotlight working papers, and Boss are comfortable in moving down that direction in terms of using those new tools for compliance work.
Yeah.
You know, that's great in that they've actually are making their own commitment, both financial and resources, to train their people, because we're moving to a new platform for our clients. So that's a big bonus. That's a big plus also.
Yeah, okay, great. And so do you think as you grow you'll be engaging Boss's services more? You know, do you think you'll be, you know, literally just if you need more capacity you'll be coming to Boss first?
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. Right. If Boss can maintain the same level of quality of work, timeliness, then I will have no hesitation and continue to outsource more work to Boss, and even to the extent that if Boss is prepared to add more services, we're also starting a bookkeeping service in the next 6 months.
Yeah.
Zero bookkeeping, and we possibly be looking to outsource some of that bookkeeping to Boss also.
Yeah. Great. Excellent.
And that's some discussions that I'm having with Boss at the moment.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay. And so would you recommend Boss as a service?
I have no hesitation in recommending Boss.
Okay.
I've only had very, very good experiences with Boss. I have not been let down in terms of their work, and any of my colleagues who are considering Boss as an option in terms of undertaking compliance work, I'm available to take their call and to talk about my experiences with Boss. Yes.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much, Vince. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
Okay, well that's great. I really appreciate you spending the time to do the testimonial, and we'll be in contact later on. And obviously we'll just sign off now for this video testimonial, but I'll just talk to you in a moment. Thank you.
Thanks, Lee.